So did y'all see this week Neo all of a sudden was speaking out about his previous relationship with Monietta Shaw, who's the mother of his 2 children. Their relationship ended, I think, last year, and it was sort of sudden, and they were reportedly engaged. And then this week he said basically he broke things off because he realized he potentially couldn't be faithful.
No, he couldn't be. He said he'd already cheated in the past.
Okay.
Like, no, I can't.
So he couldn't, be faithful. He cheated in the past and didn't want to keep disrespecting.
Right.
I think people do it all the time. Like I know with Martin Lawrence and his ex-wife, I believe, he's openly said like he's never wanted to be married, but because she wanted, it's like, okay, I'm gonna give this to you.
And I think that's what happened.
And then, like, 2 years later, they were together all that time, and the 2 years, like, they're divorced. So I think, like, things like this happen all the time in the industry as well as in real life. I don't think people want to be honest. One of my cousins, he got married, and he was definitely not ready, but his best friend was marrying his girlfriend's sister, so everybody was like, oh, like, double wedding, blah, blah, blah. And then they got married, and it didn't last. And now that he's older, and he's married again, it's like, he's everywhere with his wife. He's like, whoa. He's like, are you the same person?
I mean, I think I would rather somebody tell me, because I think you do when you get engaged and when you get married, you do think, and foolishly, you do think things are gonna change. Even though y'all have had these issues with infidelity beforehand, I do think if you put a ring on my finger, this means that that's done, like we're done, we're past that. But I would appreciate, I would appreciate you telling me, you know what, I'm not really ready right now, I can't do it. Yeah. As opposed to me walking down the aisle and then we're talking divorce. Yeah. And I also think it's just really, you have to be careful who you have kids with. If you've seen that you have one child with somebody, maybe it's an accident, whatever, and the relationship isn't right, don't have no more kids with that person.
Exactly. Y'all can stay together and you can keep cheating and do whatever you want, but like, children are watching these things, and it hurts them. People always think, oh, this is not about my kids. I love my kids. I love they totally why this is about me and your mother. And no, it's like when I watch you disrespect my mother on a daily basis, it becomes something where you're not even thinking about your family as a whole. Right. So I think that's just stupid and prim to say in the article, like, I have a problem. I'm like, folks are so ridiculous. These are choices.
Oh, you think he's trying to say like a sex addict kind of
excuse thing? Not that he's
like, but he just can't control it.
Right, I just can't really. I can't seem to just stay in, with this one person.
Whenever it's a discussion, it's like men weren't made to be with one person and blah, blah, blah. And it's, we're animals in nature and all that. So then when you have a problem, it's like, I'm just being my natural self or going with my animal instincts, where there's so many other things that are natural to you to do, but you don't do them, right? For a choice.
I think it's different for regular men and men in the industry, though, just because people can be so blinded by celebrity and money and fame that the access alone is just like, every day you're meeting women, and every day women are throwing themselves at you. Every day. Yeah. So, like, whereas a normal man might have to fight temptation maybe once a week, Neo is fighting temptation literally every day.
Did y'all see, over the weekend, T.I. approaches Floyd Mayweather about being with Tiny and his daughter for her birthday party or whatever the situation was. Saw a photo, got in his feelings, and stepped to Floyd Mayweather like he wanted those paws to be put on him. And thankfully, Floyd had enough restraint to be like, no, this ain't what you want.
Do they talk to each other? I don't know. I just feel like this is a very teenage relationship where it's like, oh, it's
except
after
these
midnight.
are 30-something-year-olds.
Right, it's like it's after midnight. I can't call my boyfriend to talk about this, so we're going to go ham on Instagram and try to like settle this. Like, it's just so odd to me that you're husband and wife and you're like thugging out on social media.
And not even just me and somebody with 100 people following us. I got millions of people, and you just like, it's embarrassing.
It is embarrassing.
I'm embarrassed for them.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand it.
But do any of her friends talk to her like,
girl, who are her friends though, Lauren?
Well, at least Tamar, Candy, like some.
Tamar don't know no better either. She's not like this, but Tamar says what she want to say. They all kind of operate in that way.
And these people aren't really that daggum close.
First off, I don't think Tiny and T.I. are living in the same house right now. And, there's just recent pictures of him, like, vacationing in Brazil alone. And y'all know Brazil.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. So, they're obviously having some issues. And the fact that you're fighting, like, a random for taking a picture with your wife is just so crazy to me. It's like
Yes.
if y'all were good, it wouldn't matter who she takes a picture with because she's coming home with you. You need to think about what you really want to do with this platform, and it shouldn't be fighting heavyweight champions because. And this is the last point, because really, if you got into a fight with Floyd Mayweather, you wouldn't be able to talk about it.
Game over.
So let's not front
over.
like,
No,
oh, I don't have a black eye
exactly.
because he didn't fight you.
Yeah. So it's just crazy. You got 6 kids between you. Like, it's gotta get better.
Jesus, he was trying to make it work live.
Girl, them kids, them kids got the most sense out of the whole family.
Pretty
the
much.
kids got all the sense.
I know.
God bless them.
The oldest
I feel like
son.
Zanique is just so
Right, Zanique,
good,
Messiah,
just- right.
bless them. Them
I know.
kids, girl.
Don't let it rub off.
God only knows what they've seen.
So did y'all also see Whitney Houston is going to have a movie made about her and her life with Bobby Brown that Angela Bassett is directing, and it's coming to Lifetime in 2015, which I think initially people were excited about, and then all of a sudden the Houston family, particularly Pat, came forward to say it's disrespectful for Whitney Houston to have a television movie because her legacy is so much more. And then Bobby Christina also came out to say the same thing, and also that she wants to play her mother. Is that right?
If there was ever to be anything like,
Yeah,
she was the
should
only one that her
be.
mother said she wanted to have play her.
So,
Right. So.
right. Thoughts. No, I don't. When I feel like when families don't support it, you should probably leave it alone. You know, just out of respect for them. You know, particularly someone died, and to other people's point of it being so soon, they're still grieving in a way. So you probably need to wait. And if they're not participating, you're not going to get the details that will make the story compelling. And it is a little off-putting to me to only focus on her life with Bobby, because I feel like that's the most, tumultuous point of her life, or one of them. I would want to kind of know more about like starting out and all that kind of things we don't know. Like, we already know their relationship was a mess. Why are you just like focusing on that? But
because that's what people like to
yeah, but it's
unfortunately people like that old, that tumultuous love type of thing. I don't know why, but it's just entertaining. But I mean, I was gonna say that I agree with you about the importance of having family involved, only because I think, not that they would gloss over certain aspects, but I think they would embellish them.
Yeah.
You would make
true.
things more dramatic, or you would do whatever to try to make the movie as entertaining as possible, and that could be offensive. So and honestly, I just feel like it's too soon.
Yeah.
I feel like you need to give people at least a decade to be like cool and cool. Now, if you have like unreal.
Is that what happened?
Right, that's how I'll be like, okay, it's been about 15 years.
And then you probably will talk now. Like, okay, I can.
Right, especially when the death was not right.
Yeah.
Especially when the death was not one that was like natural, like a Ray Charles movie. Like, oh yeah, go ahead and do that. Whitney Houston, in this way that she passed, anything with Michael. It's like, it's just not, it's very touchy. Because these people are huge.
Exactly.
These ain't, for play people. These were like huge things with huge fans and followers who still be like out for blood.
Right, exactly.
So the minute you mess up that movie, it's like, so
and we looking to criticize anyway. So the first sight.
I would just rather
somebody going
documentaries.
Yeah, that's much better. I want to know what he thinks too.
Exactly.
I
Probably haven't even heard about it yet, because he'd be so late on the news.
Right. Oh my God.
My daughter's married. I didn't know.
He like, what daughter?
Stop it.
But you know what's up? I was one of those people who was like excited initially, and then when I heard the Houston family wasn't behind it, I was like, okay, forget it.
Yeah.
Like, and not even because they wouldn't support it or whatever, but I don't think the Houston family has ever really told the truth about Whitney anyway.
Exactly.
So I don't know what type of information they would contribute to the film.
Exactly.
But the fact that they're going to be making so much noise about it, like it just takes away from like the art of it.